getting back to 2019. It's like 6 different slides in different years of you saying, hey, I have something coming. Even this freestyle was previewed a year ago.
For real?
Oh, see, I didn't know that.
Yeah, no, yeah.
Yeah, she was on live somewhere and played this shit. This ain't new off the stove. Offset the other day in his story.
Yeah.
I wish my baby would just drop.
I thought
What
that was
are
part
you
of the
afraid
setup.
of? Right? And I'm just thinking about how Cardi B has reacted to tweets that she dislikes, just any comment that she disliked. Now let me get to Cardi B.
All right, so I do want to play that. Then I'm gonna play the clip when he was talking about the rest of the girls and how a female rap situation probably over. My only thing with him will be and this probably would even have landed even 100 times better. Use yourself for an example. Like if he would have used himself for an example and said, "Hey, the more popular I got," and I think it's because realistically, Cardi lives and die on the numbers thing, and that's the sad thing. And I guess that you can kind of tie that in. You see a lot of Bob say that's her trying to push Nicki out, so you kindly always living and dying on the numbers. And if for all the content creators who may be watching this, you kind of know how that is sometimes. You can, and realistically, why you can't live and die on the numbers, especially if you're a content creator, because realistically, you know for a fact, sometimes you really don't control it. The algorithms control it. Like I could literally have a video one week to do 600,000, and that same week it may be another video that only do 600. So it's like it's nothing. It could be the same thing. You could have the same exact topic. Sometimes the algorithm is just not in your favor. And of course, with music, it's a little bit different. But if you live and die on the numbers thing, it's gonna always come out to be like nanny boo boo when you don't do the numbers thing. And I think that's why a lot of people do like NBA Youngboy. That's why even look at Lil Wayne. Lil Wayne is still arguably, it depends probably on what area you from, the greatest rapper of all times. And he got projects to do like 19,000 now, but nobody cared because Lil Wayne never really hung his hat on, hey, look at these numbers. I'm doing this number. I'm doing that. No, it was like, hey, no, I can rap. I'm going to continuously keep rapping, and I'm going to show you that I'm better than everybody. I'm going to do a feature with all this artist and that artist and kind of really allow you to see how great of a rapper I am, not necessarily saying I care about the numbers. And let's be real, going back into content creating, if you take a break, I don't matter who you are. The longer you stop doing something that you consistently have been doing, guess what you will do? It don't matter how great you think you are or how loyal your fan base is, you're going to start questioning yourself. You're going to drag your feet on, oh, should I post this video? You're going to keep overthinking it and this and the third. And that all goes into the number chasing thing. So my thing, even with Joe, is it would have been more honest and people would have even accepted his critique even a lot better. If you would have said here and said, hey, the more popular my podcast got, I actually got scared to put out music. And he could probably deny, may not want to deny it, but guess what? I can pull another person who was right beside him who did the same exact thing. I don't know how many of y'all might remember when they had the show on Revolt. It was him and Remy Ma. Remy Ma kept saying how she wanted to put out a project. She had a joint, I think it was supposed to be called like 8 Summers or 7, whatever the case it was supposed to be. Something like in that realm. Remy ended up never putting out no music. You know why? Because that show got popular and she got a little bit of pushback. Not a little bit. She got a lot of pushback when she started to critique other artists in their music. So it's like it's going to always consistently happen. So the bigger you get, and when his platform got bigger, his opinion got bigger, if he keep it real, he probably got scared to put out music. It's because his fans were still his fans. You got to think about his real fan base was the ones who carried the podcast to where it was at before it got his viral moments when he was going back and forth with Drake. Just think about it. He was still podding at the same time when he was putting out endless diss songs towards Drake. So it's not necessarily saying, oh, you just woke up one day and said, I'm not going to rap no more. No, if you kept it a buck, and if you would have kept it a buck in his clip, you would have sit here and said, I got scared. My opinion got so big, I didn't want people to critique my music because I wasn't used to that. Because I think about it, I'm sure for years, well, let's say 10 years, Joe Budden could just put out music freely. Nobody never gave their opinion on his music. His fans who liked it, they liked it. It was no outside critique. So when you start to raise the bar on your expectations of what you're looking for from music, I'm sure it gave you a little bit of fear of, I don't want to put out no music. So in Cardi's sake, it's just the numbers thing. Because let's say if every Cardi B fan liked the music and some of the people who may just be casual Cardi fans, they like it. But if the song don't peak and it's not number one, which it's not going to be because Jack Harlow and Beyonce got that number 1 and number 2 spot sold up. So it's impossible before you to put, unless you put out this OD smash, that song ain't going to do it nothing. So realistically, and with that being said, it's like, you got to just be honest. If you give people, and I think that's the cool thing about podcasts, and then of course Joe is such a big podcast that he may just forget about that. It's making yourself relatable to the people when you even giving out an opinion. So to me, like I said, if he would have been honest and sit here and said, hey, I've been in this situation, And I know that it gets scary. But of course, if you listen to enough interviews, Cardi B said it on the Breakfast Club. And of course, I know sometimes Joe pick and choose when he want to acknowledge the Breakfast Club. But she been on the Breakfast Club a million and said it. On her last Breakfast Club, and I don't want to say her last Hot 97 interview, she said, dog, I'm scared. I don't put out music. I'm sitting on a bunch of music because I'm scared to put it out. I don't like the critiques. And of course, soon as she put out this new song, she got the critiques. People was comparing her to Bia, saying, "Oh, the Bia already did this song." In the video, and I'm gonna be honest, that video looks just like the Bia video. The song, I mean, of course, it's a sample, so we're not talking about what it sounds like, but I'm talking about even just the aesthetics of that video looks exactly like that Bia video. So I can't be mad at her for sitting here thinking like, "Dang, I'm always gonna get some type of critique." And then to kind of move that on to was the Ski Master Slump God. He came and said, "Oh, it sounds familiar." Of course, all three of them sampled the same exact song. So of course, it's not too many, I guess, cadence that you can use on that song for it to make sense. But to me, the real audacity was Cardi sitting here, like biting the beard situation. But like I said, for Joe, that to me, his point, I agree with what he's saying, and I think Cardi agrees with what he's saying, and she said it a million times, and even Offset, even him putting in the story saying, just drop the music. But I think if you live and die on numbers, you will always be scared to actually do the work, just to put out the craft and just chase you. And that's why I think Wayne is the best example of him and Youngboy. Youngboy for the younger audience, he just because he don't care. He do not care how many people stream or don't stream his music. He just will continuously feed his audience because that's what he care about. Or if you really just passionate about rapping like Lil Wayne, arguably, again, the greatest rapper of all times, he still just puts out music, and I'm not chasing numbers. When the last time Lil Wayne had a #1 hit? But every other week, you see people tweeting and debating, is Lil Wayne still the best rapper? Did you hear this new Lil Wayne verse? Because he continuously just chased the craft and tries to show people I'm better at my craft and not sitting here trying to chase numbers. Dog, you got to get out of the chasing numbers thing. So like I said, again, this is for all my content creators and even musicians or whoever's watched this video. Dog, you cannot live and die on the numbers, because sometimes the numbers going to hit and sometimes they not. And it's just, that's just the fact of what it is. And if you live and die on the numbers, 9 times out of 10, you're going to forever drag your feet on putting out any quality or anything. Everything ain't gonna be a hit. Every time you do a video, it's not gonna hit. As you are a rapper, every song you put out ain't gonna be a hit. But you got to sit here and say, I'm gonna live with the craft and not die and live on numbers. So, like I said, let's get into this other part that he said when he said that the
I ain't gonna want to hear it from me, but the girl rapper wave is over.
Damn. Come on.
Just telling you what it is.